Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to Tuesday Talks at 3, a platform where women help build one another on this journey of life as they go through the sphere of life and the sphere of life, the wheel of life, the different aspects of life. My name is Lucy Macridis, and I am the founder of LMC Consultancy. I'm so happy to be here. I'm an expert at helping women get unstuck and onto their true potential through unlocking their limiting beliefs. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for tuning in. I know it is the holiday season, and as you can see, I am still in holiday season mode. I mean, just wondering what it is you've been doing for your festive season. Were you with family? Were you alone? How did that go? What kind of discussions did you have after we talked about it last week, where we're talking about gifting? It'd be so nice to hear from you, and just that you could share this information with us here, and we can know what you did. What did you do different this year than you would have done every other year? What did you purpose or intend to do and that you did, and how did it work out? Remember the example that I gave you, that Auntie Lucy has set out this food at the table and you don't care much for it. And I asked you to consider thinking about how much effort went into creating that menu, setting out that spread, and just basically you trying to be filled with gratitude, to say thank you and take what you can, because this is the festive season. So I repeat, how was your festive season? Were you with family? Were you alone? Are you missing the ones that you have lost during the year or years gone by? How was that experience for you? Were you able to call upon them and with memories and smile and just be grateful that you were part of their lives, that they were part of your lives? Were you reminiscing on the days gone? Share with us. I'm just going to have a look and see who we have who has already tuned in to Facebook Live. And let's see. Okay. So we are live. And I just want you to be able to come onto the live and just share with us what your thoughts are these festive season. And my questions are going to be very specific, you know. Are you looking forward to 2021? You know, much as we're talking about 2020, it's us preparing to go into 2021. So in the chat box, just drop out for me there. Are you looking forward to 2021? Are you in a hopeful mode? What mode are you in? Or perhaps you are in a solution mode. What is it? So what has this festive season prepared you for? Because I'm very sure that you have sat with family and you have thought about it. You've discussed things. Yeah. All right. So we are live and I'm hoping to hear much more about you. So let me just share with you. LMC Consultancy. We have 4 services. And the first service is our group life coaching. Now, group life coaching is very exciting because though we take care of you individually, you have a group of people who've come together who are seeking clarity. And I'm saying this because I have people asking me, why do I need a life coach? What will a life coach do for me? Well, clarity comes to mind, the word clarity. So when you were thinking about clarity, I'm just getting distracted by my Facebook. So back to it. So when we're thinking about clarity, you imagine that you have set out to do something and you are imagining what that vision is. You know what it is. You know what your why is, and you set out to do it. But as you start, the way I have encouraged you throughout the months, just start now. It doesn't matter how small. Take that proverbial first step. And then you take it. And then suddenly you've got all these reasons why you should not proceed with your second step. You need clarity. Or you've already started taking your second step, but then you've lost your vision. And why have you lost your vision? Because life happens. Life happens when we're busy making plans. This is a saying that is so well known. Life happens when we're busy making plans. So this could happen. And you could lose your clarity. And this is when a life coach comes in. A life coach gives you accountability, holds your hand, walks with you, reminds you what we set out to do, asks you deep questions, and asks you questions as they are. So there's no playing around. We are very, very specific and focused as life coaches. We have had this discussion. We've asked questions. You have said that this is where I am, this is where I want to go, and this is what I need to do. I become your accountability coach, and I will make sure that you get to where you're going, because I will keep on asking you questions and asking you, where are we today? So I become that voice that is within you, that is making you do things. So group life coaching, when you come around that table, perhaps you've come and you want clarity on, and we find out that your challenge is procrastination. And somebody else wants clarity, and we found out that their challenge is self doubt. Another one comes in and it is confidence. They've got low self-esteem. So what do we do? Ask the questions, have a discussion. The great thing is, because it's a group, you bounce off one another and you learn from the experiences of one another. It's so great to do group life coaching. So if you've got a group of friends or a group of colleagues in the office and you actually believe that you're looking for totally different things, I can say to you, there's one thing you're looking for, that is clarity in whatever area, whether it is in family, relationships, spiritual, educational, personal development, career, name it. It's clarity you're looking at. We are all on this journey together, like I said in the beginning. We are helping to build one another on this journey of life. And when we sit as a group, it just comes to us so real, because there's a no teacher student situation here. We are bouncing off ideas, and you come out now with more clarity. In fact, I love it at the end of the sessions when I find people discussing their breakthroughs and their aha moments and the looks on their faces. I miss the days of meeting face to face, but this is what we have. This is what the pandemic has given us today. Welcome, Kaine, and welcome, Mercy. Great to have you here. We're on highlights of 2020, and I'm going to purpose to share the highlights of ELEMCEE Consultancy. And you were there with me on this journey. So feel free to drop in some nuggets that you learned over the last few months. It'll help somebody else, or something that has come upon you, some realization, some breakthrough. This is our time to share. Don't keep the story to yourself. There's someone who is going to watch this after we have finished our broadcast, and they're going to learn something. They will have a burning sensation question that they have, and the answer is here, because this is how God works. He already sends the answer even before you have asked, and the answer is in your story. So Kaine, you're here. Mercy, you're here. Please just drop in whatever nuggets you have for 2020. So the question is, are you looking forward to 2021? And for you, looking forward to 2021 means you actually took my advice and you did some things in the festive period in this past week. You've had discussions with family, you've opened up, you've been looking at hope, peace, welfare, love, and all these ideas have come through, that you were also looking at gratitude. Because when there's gratitude and the lessons that you've learned, you are just ready to get out of those gates and go on. So are you in a mode? So what kind of mode are you in? Are you in a fix-it mode, a hope mode, a solution mode? I love solution mode, because as we go into 2021, we need to step forward in a solution mode. Great to see you here, Patricia. Great to see you. Welcome, welcome. So it has been an interesting year, a very interesting year. And in this year, we've all been dealt the same thing. In my lifetime, the whole world has been dealt the same thing. And this very same thing is the pandemic. And this pandemic that we have all been dealt with, we are all being hit by the same pandemic, but we are all having different learnings. What is your learning from this pandemic? What did you find out about yourself? And I want you to go more towards a positive mindset. Look at it for what it is. Where is the silver lining? And if you were to step out of it today, if today was the 31st and there's a magic wand, what would you say on the 1st that made you come through in 2020? What was that great thing that happened to you despite what you were going through? So it is the season to be grateful. And I purposed that in this season, I was going to post for 31 days the things that I am grateful for. And it has been a very humbling experience. And if you take time to go onto the Facebook chat, in the Facebook wall that you're on right now, you will find that I'm on day 29, of course, because today is the 29th. And I have posted diligently every day. And this exercise has been very humbling. And I can see those of you who have been reading, and I do hope that it has been an inspiration to you, because it is in the small things that I am grateful for. So, yes, it is a season to be jolly, but it is a season to be grateful. And that you were able to realize that as we inch towards the end of 2020, there's so many things that we can celebrate. And I'm calling them highlights. So I would like to celebrate some of these highlights, and I'd love to hear from you. So please, please oblige me and type in one of your takeaways or your highlights or your breakthroughs, something that was inspirational, something that you've seen and you want to try. Oh, what did you try that was new? What have you done that is different this year or you're planning to do for next year? So, Patricia says, tuned in and good to see you. Thank you so much, Patricia. Thank you so much for just, dropping me something there. And I'd like you to share with me what is one thing that you're taking away in 2020 as something of growth, despite what you went through. I heard somebody yesterday talking about hustling, and that in every opportunity, she just saw the greed, the opportunity, and she jumped onto it, and she was able to make a difference around her in her life, something she never thought that she would be able to do. So I'm still in holiday mode. So for me, this is a very sober moment to sit here with family and be able to think about the year gone and the highlights. And I have quite a few highlights. And in my time of gratitude, I would just like to share gratitude before I go into my summary of the year that was. So I will start off because last Wednesday, Tuesday, I beg your pardon, was the 22nd. And on the 22nd, I already posted and shared with you. So I'm going to start out from the 23rd. Now, if you like to remember, on the 22nd, I said, I am grateful for the online communities that have become my support system. I mean, you guys are here. And even when you're long gone after this session, there are those now who come and read and leave their comments. There are those who come back and just read even after 2-3 weeks. This is my online community, because being face to face has been really limited with the protocols going on, understandably. So very grateful for the online communities. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in today. On the 23rd, I posted, I am grateful to those who took up my gratitude December gift. You have blessed me beyond measure during our coaching sessions. Now, if you're not aware, I had announced on this Tuesday Talks at 3 my gratitude December gift. I was gifting 15 takeaways on life coaching, 5 of which was one-on-one coaching, and 10 was lady in waiting coaching for the teenagers. And for those who took them up, we completed our sessions the 22nd of December, because it was valid literally from the 1st to the 22nd of December. And it was great. I really think, I know I learned more than anybody. I was blessed more and I loved it. On the 24th, and that is Christmas Eve, I posted, I am grateful for the love of family. On the 22nd, we talked about us either being alone or with family. For those of us who were alone, were able to reach out to family, and for reasons of protocol, we couldn't travel, or for work. But then those of us who were able to travel with family, I encouraged you to have a sense of gratitude, of humility, of love. And I traveled to be with my family. It was so great to see mom, and to see my siblings, and to see my nephews and nieces. It was great to see my son-in-law. It was great to see my grandson. It was really a great place to be. I am still here and I'm loving it. I'm on my way home in 2 days' time. So next week, we'll be looking at Tuesday Talks at 3 from my house, my regular place. But I realized that I am grateful for the love of family. Family is family, eh? I mean, you and I both know by the time you're sitting with family for an extended amount of time, we always now start getting into the arguments. So that's what family is about. We love each other. We hate each other. We tick each other off. We embrace each other. We celebrate each other. We are jealous of one another. This is family. And so I am grateful for the love of family. On Christmas Day, I posted, I am grateful for the gift of my faith because unto us a child is born. And I'm grateful for the gift of my faith because it has been my North Star. It has been that star for me. It has been my compass. It has brought me back whenever I was getting off track. And even if I was not aware of it, I had my circle of friends who were able to tell me, Lucy, you need to get back on track. On Boxing Day, the feast of St. Stephen, I am grateful for the joy that is life. That is life. Because, now the season of Christmas, the celebration now was winding down. This was life. Just being with the people that you love. These are not people that you chose. God gave you these people. And when God gave you these people as family, He made all of us just like the fingers on my hand. We are all different and we celebrate one another. So on the 26th, I am grateful for the joy that is life. On the 27th, and that was Sunday, I posted, I am grateful for God's compassion in my life. He has prepared the provision even before I made the request. Did you hear that? He has prepared the provision even before I made the request. And this is true in my life. He prepared it, and I'm so grateful. Day 28, which was yesterday, I said, I'm grateful for the breakthroughs during the lockdown period. So many breakthroughs. And I would love to hear your breakthroughs because I've been sharing my breakthroughs in the last few months. I'd love to hear from you so that we can touch other people's lives. And this morning I posted, I am grateful for the people who spoke hope to me, who spoke hope into my life. How powerful is that? When you can speak hope into somebody's life, it is very powerful because life is happening and people are finding it difficult. The journey that we are taking right now with this pandemic is the journey of the pandemic, but we are all in this journey experiencing different things. So we need to preach hope, positivity. And as we're coming to the end of this 2020, I really request you to share your breakthroughs, your aha moments. What is it that came through for you? What did you become aware of in your life? So let's just jump right into it. The summaries started as early as July, and these were the limiting beliefs. And I'll be looking just at my Facebook to see what it is you're sharing with me so that I can acknowledge it and thank you on the live show right now. So limiting beliefs. And overcoming limiting beliefs. So what does a limiting belief do for you? A limiting belief actually blocks you from transcending. However, I chose to pick these limiting beliefs to be the stepping stone. So if I give you an example, for the longest time, I felt that I was not good enough on platforms like this. For the longest time, this was a limiting belief for me. So I only did it when I was forced to do it. And that is because in the company that I worked in, our head office was in Thailand. And therefore, we had to go online like this to do our numbers. So fantastic. I did it. But it's not because of the love of it. I was overcoming my limiting beliefs. And over time, I got used to it. And then came shock on me, the pandemic. And now this became my new normal, speaking like this. So from being I am not good enough, I reframed that. I asked myself, if I was to change this, what would I do different if I was to change it? I would become better at what I do. Maybe you are saying to yourself that you are not good enough, and everybody else is saying to you, you're not good enough. What is it that you're not good at and you're not good enough for? Question it, guys. Limiting beliefs are all about those things that hold us back. It's time for you to know what they are. I'm seeing Patty. Patty, you're saying, honestly, I am grateful for God for the healing after total knee replacement. Oh, and we say amen. Amen, Patty. Total knee replacement and physio stopped cause of COVID. And I had achieved mobility at 100% as at last week. Well done. And we must celebrate our successes. This is amazing, Patty. Thank you for sharing. Number 2, 2021, I'm going to love myself. You know, I just want to feel that, Patty. You're going to love yourself. Well done. We need to love ourselves. We need to create our self-worth. We are the ones who own this narrative. And Patty, thank you so much for saying this, because we own this narrative. The world can say what they want to say. In fact, limiting beliefs, the definition is those fundamental beliefs that have been formed over time by you, by others, or by the world. You know, the things that have been set in your mind, what it is that you do. And 95% of your wake up, your alert moment comes as a result of these limiting beliefs. Yeah, because you're conditioned over time. You're conditioned maybe in your childhood, or you're conditioned in your experiences in life, or you're conditioned by the way you see life deals you certain things. Limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs usually would be looked at, not usually, are always looked at from the negative aspect, the ones that stop you from moving on. So loving yourself, Patty, is a great start. And thank you so much. Yeah. You want to take care of your health. That is, you want to lose weight. So there you go. So that's already something that you're putting out there. You want to lose weight. So I would ask you, Patty, what do you need to do to make that a reality in 2021? Because it doesn't mean that just because 2020 the 0 is dropped and the 1 is brought in, it doesn't mean that it becomes a reality. It starts in your head. You know, things happen twice, Patty. First, in your head, making it that in your head that you believe it, you see it, you have the vision, like the way you hear vision boards. Then secondly, it happens in reality, implementation. So what is it that you have in your head, Patty? Feed your mind with the things that you want to start, and start today. Don't wait for the clock to turn from 2020 to 2021. And I'm so sure you already have thoughts of what you want to do. Go ahead and take that first step, Patty. And next week on the 5th, share with us what it is you have done. No matter how small that step is, you will have started now. Thank you for sharing. Number 3, you say, I'm grateful to my true friends who have walked with me through this difficult journey. Wow, how beautiful is that? The tribe that you have surrounded yourself with, Patty, has helped you. People ask me, how do I choose my tribe? Well, at times the tribe chooses you, but you're the one with the last say. Do you want to keep them around, or do you want to kick them out? I mean, in this case, Patty is definitely keeping them around because they walked with her through this difficult journey. And maybe there are some who didn't, and maybe that's why she's qualifying and saying true friends. Unless Patty now could share with us here on the chat. Maybe she found out that that group of friends that she had, not all of them were true. When she needed them most, they walked. But they did her a favor, because then she discovered who her true friends are. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing that with us, Patty. I appreciate you. Miriam, great to see you. I know it's your first time to join us here. Great to see you. We're talking about the highlights of 2020. And if there's anything that you would like to share with us, Miriam, Mercy, Kaine, if there's anything that you would like to share with us, please do. We would love to sample them. Somebody somewhere is waiting for your message. So July was about limiting beliefs. So for me, the highlight here was the overcoming of limiting beliefs. That meant I had to list them out. I had to thank my limiting beliefs for protecting me thus far. And you know what I did? I gave them a name. And the general name of my limiting beliefs is Kamutu. Now, if you're Kenyan, if you're African, East African, you understand that Kamutu is a small person. So that small person, that inner voice, that quiet voice, that every time I wanted to transcend would block me and bring all these experiences from childhood, or experiences of life that I've had, or things that people have said to me, and reaffirmed and reaffirmed. So it became true for me that I am not good enough to do this. Kamutu is the one that came to me. And maybe Kamutu for me was my self-talk, my negative talk. Well, next week, starting on the 4th of January through to the 8th of January, I am running a series that is called Awakening Self. It is 2,000 shillings. And what you need to do is just attend every day of the weekday between 1 to 2 p.m. Kenyan time. 1 to 2 p.m. Kenyan time. I was just seeing a message coming through. Thank you so much for joining us. Great to see you guys. I'm just explaining about our Awakening Self program that is starting on Monday. And we're going to be talking about the journey on the first day. Where are you with your journey? Where are you at right now? And where do you want to go? And we will introduce limiting beliefs as the things that could be stopping you. Mine was negative talk. Mine was a negative mindset, which we're going to get to in one of my highlights here this afternoon. Self-doubt, self-guilt, self-sabotage. These things are real, guys. This is kamutu coming into your head and telling you that you can't do it. The time is not now. Wait, there are other people who can do it. Oh, my money memories and the voices that I have in my head about money, they really stop me. It'll never be enough. I've got to work really hard to make money. Very limiting beliefs, of which I have learned now how to speak to, call them by name and move on. So join us next week and learn how you can identify your limiting beliefs, speak to your limiting beliefs, and use them as a stepping stone to your potential. So that was July. We then went into August. And in August, it was about the Voice series. And if you remember, guys, in the Voice series, I quoted Ongare Madai and I quoted Michelle Obama because they had powerful messages. They had chosen their medium. And just like Patty is doing now, they had chosen their tribe. I mean, what Patty has done here is just amazing. Just knowing that you have a tribe is important. But what is the message? When you're coming to this tribe, what message are you bringing to them? What value are you bringing to the table? What value are you taking away? Because, you have the permission to say no to the communities that you have formed over the last months so that you can say yes to others. So important. And what medium? Are you going to be doing it online? Are you going to meet face to face? Are you going to do it on WhatsApp? Are you going to be part of LinkedIn? So much is available to us because of the pandemic now. So much. So in the Voice series, I really loved the message and the why. Your why has to be compelling enough so that when you're telling it out there, you believe it. Even if you do not believe it today, write it down on a piece of paper, stick it at your mirror or in your car, or stick it at your dressing table or in the kitchen by the sink. The time you will be able to go through this message over and over, you begin to believe it, you begin to be it, and you embrace it as you become it. You embrace it as you become it, your message, and then choose the medium that you are going to put it through. I mean, we had a great opportunity here talking about my voice. My voice is not necessarily what I'm speaking. My voice could be about reading. I'm writing. Therefore, people are reading my voice. It could be about me acting on stage. That could be my voice in theater, in poetry. It could be about my dress sense. Maybe in the way that I dress, that is my voice. It could be my hairstyle. I mean, today I've got a lovely frangipani in my hair, but that is me on holiday mood. That's what I do when I'm on holiday. I have flowers in my hair. I pick myself up. So in what medium are you using, I beg your pardon? Which medium are you using for your voice? And therefore the why was so important for me. Your why has to be very compelling. And you must know exactly why you're doing this so that when those hurdles come, when Kamutu comes, you're able to say to Kamutu, thank you so much, Kamutu. I recognize you. However, this is the game plan. And thank you so much, Kamutu, for protecting me thus far. Okay, let us see if there are any more comments. Right. Oh, Patty, again, thank you so much, Patty. Oh, Patty, we're on a roll here. Coach, so you said, I have already seen a nutritionist, and we have already drawn a diet. Oh, this is about your program. Fantastic. Fantastic. So you've already drawn a diet based on your pre-existing condition. And the medication that I take kicking off on the 4th of July. Wait. Let me just do this. Fantastic. Well done, Patty. Now, this is it. This is you taking the step, one step at a time. And what I say is that when we start the journey on to success, you must always put into consideration that there will be failure. So failure is an option. Get ready for that day when you feel it's too dark in your corner and you're ready to say that I have failed, and know that you will not fail because you've already prepared for it. You have a system in place. Your coach, your nutritionist, or anybody who's working with you, maybe on exercise, if fitness is part of your regime, and you will not fail because ahead you saw the hurdles of failure. You saw the hurdles of failure. You know, I had a boss once who said to me, there are many ways to skin a cat, many ways. So when that day comes, Patty, I am so sure that you have the system in place to keep yourself going and overcome the hurdle, and know that that too shall pass as you keep your eye on the vision. Thank you so much for sharing. So let's see. Who do we work on self-sabotage and our temperaments? I'm not sure I understand whether it's a question or a statement, Patty. You say, who do we work on self-sabotage and our temperaments? Maybe you're asking, how do we work on self-sabotage and our temperaments? And if that is a question, then what you do is you call it for what it is. You know that this has happened. You write it down in a journal. You know that the last time, for instance, I would just use this. Oh, great. How do we work? Fantastic. Thank you, Patty. So, Patty, let us use your example of losing weight. Maybe, I'm just using this as an example, but maybe you had tried to do this same time last year, because usually this is the time for setting goals, and that is when you felt impelled to come up with this goal. But then come beginning of the year, and this is your injuries aside, yeah, assuming there were no injuries. Now come this year, you had everything set up and you were ready to go, but somewhere along the line you sabotaged yourself. And how would you sabotage yourself? Your nutritionist has given you a diet based on the you, and how that will help you, how your metabolism breaks down. They've given you that. But then perhaps you've got somebody else in the house who eats something different. Or you go for meetings and the food that is spread out there is, I had this all the time. Working in the hospitality industry, I was always faced with all this food. There's breakfast, there's tea time, there's lunch, there's 4 o'clock tea, there's dinner, there's cocktails, name it. And half of this time, I had to choose to say no to say yes to something else. So this is how you would self-sabotage if you choose not to say no. You self-sabotage, and nobody sabotages you. Life has to go on. But is your why compelling enough? Join us next week, Patty, and let us have that discussion on self-sabotage and your temperaments. Because Kamutu will come. Only because you're talking about Kamutu and you have a system to overcome Kamutu does not mean you've locked him out. Kamutu is here to stay with us, but we want to silence Kamutu. We want to manage Kamutu. And that's why we give him a name and we speak with him. I do hope that I have helped you. Irene Okoth, welcome, welcome. So I do hope that I've helped you, Patty. To limit those voices in your head, you need to call them by their name. You need to have a compelling why. Why are you doing this? So that it can stand the test of time. The other thing is your core values. And somebody somewhere said a saying or a quote, something to do with, if you do not stick to your values when times are tough, then they're not values, they're just hobbies. Because it is during tough times that we get tested. And when we're getting tested and we fall off that horse of values, then you know all along that your core values were not strong enough. Your why was not strong enough. So thank you so much for sharing that, Patty. It has helped somebody else. And the more you speak, somebody else is listening to this message. So that was a voice series. And remember, voice is not so much me speaking. It's about writing. It's about my hairstyle, the way I'm sending a message with my hairstyle, or my dress code, or when I'm on stage, when I'm painting, name it. What does your voice look like? And what is your message, your why? Where are you going to speak, or where are you going to showcase this message? And who are the people surrounding you? In September, we went into success and abundance. And do you know, in success and abundance, the one session that I loved the most was that success is best served, shared. I loved it. It is best served shared, and I'll get to it, and we will be looking at those highlights later. However, the other one that I liked was lighting a candle. You know how you just light a candle from just one light? You get all these candles that are lit. It doesn't diminish your light. If anything, it births other lights. I loved that statement. And I remember during that session, I had somebody who took this home and took it home and used it for a helping hand, storytelling, testimonies, began to mentor the youth as a result of this. She took what she had already and she shared it with the world. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Patty. You will join us. Thank you so much. All you have to do is just drop me a line on the number given there, and I will be able to book you. The cost is 2,000 shillings, and you'll be sending it on M-Pesa, and then we will be good to go on Monday, Kenyan time, between 1 and 2 p.m. So yes, about lighting the candle. It is the impact that you have on others. You know, usually it is the giver who gets more blessed. The receiver is blessed, but the giver gets more blessed. So as you go lighting this candle, the feelings are amazing. Then came October, and October was about collaboration series. And guys, I will be honest with you, I was scared to death because up to this moment, I was in control of my live broadcast. I did not have anybody else on my live broadcast, but I decided to transcend to another level. And Kamutu came knocking. Kamutu told me everything that would go wrong in my collaboration series. And Kamutu actually advised me that once I do this, I will lose internet. The other people are not going to observe the discipline that I have of showing up 3 o'clock on the time. Whatever content they have is not going to be aligned. Oh, let me tell you, Kamutu was not short of excuses for me that I should not do this. You know what? I jumped right into it. And the first few that I did, and if you go back to my recordings, you will find I had not gone onto Facebook Live like now. So I was learning as I was going ahead. So take the first step, ladies. Take the first step. You will learn as you go on ahead. You will make mistakes. Don't quit. Hang in there. Just hang in there. My best topic when it came to the October collaboration was on decency, and I loved it. This was the closest topic to my heart. It was about respect. It was about hard work. It was about honesty. I loved it. And we could apply this at home. We could apply this at work when we are applying respect, hard work, and honesty. And we were questioning ourselves whether it was something that was common. This decency, is it common? And especially at that time, all of us were all masked in whether it was in our public transport, whether it was in supermarkets, but some of us were very casual about it. And I remember discussing with the lady, I remember it was Priscilla, and Priscilla was my guest on the show that day. And we were talking about what people would do in public areas with their masks. And that common decency was not there. They did not care about everybody else around them. They only thought about their personal discomfort, you know, and maybe they were not well and they would want to sneeze. And instead of sneezing into the elbow, like we were all educated to do, they would sneeze out into the open without their mask. And I know exactly. I know what you're thinking. And we don't look so shocked, but this is what they were doing. So at that time, I came to realize that decency was not common at all, right? Something we had to work. So in October, that was my popular talk. Let's see. Oh, Anne, great to see you, Anne. Karibu sana. Good to see you. And we're just going through the summary of the year that was 2020. And I'm sharing the ones that I loved the most. So came November. And November was our menopause series. Now, this menopause series, the whole thing of menopause series for me was a favorite because there were so many breakthroughs, so many aha moments for me on this menopause series. I mean, from nutrition, in fact, Anne has joined us and Anne was our guest and she was telling us about nutrition. And I love the way she talked about eating a rainbow. She talked about eating a rainbow and she talked about the quality, not the quantity. I mean, she got us challenging our cultural traditions, where I come to your house and you give me a plate full of food because of the love, because you're welcoming me. I mean, during the festive season, this is what has been happening. Our plates have been overflowing. But because of this, I was more conscious about what I was serving up on my plate. And Anne, thank you for joining us. And thank you so much for the nuggets that you shared when you were on Tuesday Talks at 3 on nutrition. We then went on to mental health. It never crossed my mind that mental health was a big thing in menopause. It didn't cross my mind at all. And just having Victoria take us through mental health was aha moments. Yes, my mind goes foggy. I forget things. Things are busy, jumbled up in my head. I need a moment at times. It was about the mental health that I had to take care of. And just being aware of it put me on the right track. It's a conversation starter now. Young women as young as 30 already are being affected by the drop in oxygen in their bodies, and they're not even aware of it. So for me, I have become a crusader, and I am talking about menopause because fitness was the next topic. And when we were talking about fitness, we're talking about our bones and how they become brittle and what we needed to do. I was somebody who was in the gym every single day until I got knee problems. So, Patty, I'm right with you. Until I had knee problems, and then I stopped and I took on things like yoga and walking, but I continued to do my exercise. I miss the intensity, but I am doing something. Then we went on to wellness, where we had a fellow coach come onto the show with me and we put it all together: self awareness, self worth, confidence that comes with it. And I loved the fact that we talked about celebrating life. And I met so many remarkable women, and I loved it because in this menopause series, it was about gracefully accepting and embracing this new life, this freedom at this time. And that was November. In December, we had our gratitude series, and that's the one that we are bringing to an end now. And I've shared with you my gratitude of how I posted every day, and I'd love for you to share. We calibrated, we decorated, we gifted, and now we have shared our highlights. However, I did promise you that we would come back to success and abundance, because success is a sum of ups and downs. So, which have been your ups and which have been your downs on this success journey? Have you experienced depression? I know I have, but it was a positive talk that brought me out of it. Have you experienced doubt, guilt? For the success to happen, there needs to be a mindset and there has to be persistence. Keep on doing it over and over again. Believe it. I'll give you an example. I never thought, and I keep on saying this, and I'm sure for those of you who've been on my show over and over, you hear me saying it. Same time last year, I would never have imagined I'd be in front of you now on virtual space speaking. That was so not me, because my kamutu was about how I look in front of a camera. So self-conscious, it was limiting me. Do you know how I overcame that? 21 days of recording myself in under 1 minute with a message every day. What was the silver lining? I became confident in front of a camera. I started sharing it with a group of people because then I was taking myself to another level. Not only was I sharing it with other people, the messages that I had are the ones that I use now on my Tuesday Talks at 3. I became confident, and all it took was one step at a time. Day 1, day 2, I didn't believe my message. Day 3, I was ready to give up. But I kept on going at it. By day 7, I was like, whoa, what did I sign up for? And there were days when I was posting at 10 minutes to midnight so I could just beat the deadline, because I'm that kind of a person. I stick to my goals. By day 14, I started to feel there was a lift. I was posting on time. I was dressing differently. I was wearing makeup in my postings. I mean, the postings before, oh, wow. Maybe one day I will share them with the public. But the postings before, I just didn't have it in me. By the time I hit day 21, I was a pro, in my own words. And then every Tuesday, I'm here with you. My confidence is growing. And you giving me feedback is helping me grow more. And thank you so much. And that is why I thank my online community. So in choosing success and abundance, you need to identify where you are, where you want to go, and what it takes to get there. You need to know your hurdles. Are you familiar with them? And need to have an attitude of gratitude. Yeah. But I loved the fact that there was the growth versus the fixed mindset, or what I called the abundance mindset versus the scarcity mindset. And for me, one of the biggest one was I'm only good at certain things. And therefore I was comfortable there in the things that I was good at. That is a scarcity mindset. That's a fixed mindset that I had, that I'm only good at certain things and that's all I would do. I stepped out this year and I learned things. I mean, this is Lucy learning about Forex, trading. I give thanks to Charity, a girlfriend of mine. She introduced me to Forex trading. She told me, come on, try it. My fixed mindset or my scarcity mindset moved on to abundance. And today I know the lingo. You can throw words at me. I know what you're talking about. I learned something new. See, because people would say, but I don't like doing what I don't know. I'm only good at certain things. That is okay, but it is a fixed mindset. It's a scarcity mindset. An abundance mindset would say, I can be good at anything. I love learning new things, things that I don't know. So what did you learn during this time of the lockdown in whichever country that you're in? What did you learn? And what did it teach you as you learned this? So definitely something else that I loved. I love the tribe. So it was good that Patty talked about the tribe. I just loved it. And I'm just seeing here, Patty is saying, Lucy, thank you for the encouragement. You're most welcome. And just you being here on this talk show encourages me. And I love it because then I look out and I see there are people there listening to me. There are people there sharing with me. And therefore, we are journeying together. The African proverb says that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, we go together. So we are going together. And the story of your online growth journey is inspiring. Thank you, Lucy. You're most welcome, Anne. You're most welcome. Thank you so much. And like I say, there's no journey that doesn't have bumps. And my journey had bumps. It will continue to have bumps. But the system that I have in place to overcome Kamutu is real. So join me next week from the 4th to the 8th and let's do this thing together. So like Patty said, she found her true friends. So you question, who are you surrounding yourself with? Who is your tribe? What value are you bringing to the table? It's about you first. What value are you bringing to the table? And what value are they bringing to the table? You know, are you going to say yes or no to this? It's your narrative. You're allowed to say no to certain things so you can say yes to growth. So say no to fixed mindset and say yes to the abundance mindset. Yeah. So who will you risk to invite or to be part of? You have to take risks. And those risks that you take, I'm not talking about taking everything and putting in a basket. Risk it. Go online. Shoot something today. What is it that you know about? For instance, now I know about limiting beliefs and I'm sharing with people. You know, I've become an infopreneur now. I am taking information, a product, and I am educating people about it. And I would shoot myself for maybe 20 seconds and share it on my Instagram. This is a risk that I'm taking. I never thought I could do it, but look where I am today. Who are you going to take a chance on? Take a risk, guys. Take a risk. So the options, as I said, being an entrepreneur, there are 3 things that I learned. There's a business person, there's an entrepreneur, and there's an infopreneur. A business person, an entrepreneur, and an infopreneur. And I choose to be an infopreneur today. A business person will buy and sell the same product at a profit. You go to a shop, buy something, wholesale, come sell it retail, you're focusing on profit. An entrepreneur will buy a product, transform it, innovation, you know, transform it and sell it at a profit. So you're focusing on generating new value and profit. The one that I'm choosing to be is to buy a product, take a product, teach people how to transform it, guys. and focus on selling that knowledge. This brings me to wealth. Creating of wealth is what we should be looking. If there's one thing that Corona has shown us, is that we need to have multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income. So you need to track your expenses. And I know you're doing it, but keep your receipts. Track your expenses. Question yourself every quarter. Did I need to do this? Can I adjust it? Cut back unnecessary expenses, because by you tracking, you will know what is unnecessary. Educate yourself. I've had so much education this year, and this is self-education online. And you don't have to spend money. All you need to do is Google free training, free webinar for the things that you're looking for. They're there. And during this time, some of the high-end colleges, including the University, Harvard, was offering free courses. And you would come in and for 3 months you do something, or you would come in and do it for, they would talk in hours. You would do it for 60 hours. You would do this thing. Educate yourself. Make sure you're growing, because you're always unlearning things to learn new things. Reinvest your profits. Invest the money that you have saved. My mother always told me that, to invest the money that you have saved. Very important. And this way you are able to build your multiple streams of income. And then you just live off passive income. And I know it sounds easy, but this could be something that you want to set out for 2021. Things that you want to work on. I can see Maglin has joined us. Welcome, Maglin. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. So these are the highlights that I had for this year, in these last few months that we've gone through. I could either choose to be victim mode and say, oh, my industry, which is hospitality, came crashing down. There was nothing else, and I'm stuck in that industry. Today, I'm on online. I took a course, a short course on online facilitation. For me, it's a product now with ELEMCEE Consultancy. And I take you through the opportunity of hearing the message. I take you through games. I take you through assessment. These are things that I learned online because I chose to learn during this time of COVID. I chose to rise above it and drive my own narrative. It doesn't mean that I am a success, but it just means I have successes along the way that I'm celebrating. I am able to inspire people by giving my message consistently every Tuesday at 3 p.m. and posting on my Facebook page, my Instagram, and on my LinkedIn. And I am posting so that we can all be together on this journey of life. I am really grateful for this pandemic. And with this pandemic, I lost my way in the beginning, but I found my way back to my potential. My purpose was very compelling. And now I'm grabbing my potential. I mean, next week, I'm going to give a full week session on awakening self. And this is from all my personal lessons, things that I have learned, and I'm so happy to share them with you. So once again, awakening self will start on Monday, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th. It will be Kenyan time, Nairobi time, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And in that 1 hour, we are going to be talking about different things every single day. I'm going to give you exercises to do. And you're going to come out at the other side with food for thought and systems that you can use to overcome the limiting beliefs, to awaken yourself. So 2021, which I'm telling you, ladies, is going to be a tough year, because now we are going in knowing what is going to happen. 2020 happened to us. We didn't know. We were trying to make sense of it. But 2021, we are now wiser. We know what this pandemic can do. So you need to be in a certain mode. And I choose to be in solution mode, finding solutions, being hopeful, and jumping right in. So Patty says, Lucy, my takeaway today is start with baby steps and hanging in there tight. So true. So true. Hang in there tight. There are many ways to skin a cat. I'll never forget my boss. She's passed on since. May she rest in eternal peace. But she said that, Lucy, there are so many ways to skin a cat. So we've come to the top of our hour, ladies. And I thank you so much for joining me. and making my 2020 so special. I was not talking to myself. There was always you ladies out there listening to me. And even after we left this, you would come back and drop in your comment. I would love for you to share this platform with so many people out there. Follow, like, engage. I would love it. And in true fashion, I'm going to leave you with some takeaways for you to just mull over and see whether you can use them. My first takeaway is make provisions for failure. That's what I learned in 2020. Make provisions for failure. I had plans beginning of the year and they all failed. Of course, because of the environment around me, but also because of Kamutu in my head. I just took a nosedive. But when I started learning how to overcome Kamutu, I rose above and I'm here today. I'm awake. I am here. I'm present. That tells you that I overcame Kamutu. He still comes to my head, but we discuss. Number 2, take calculated risks. Learn something new. Don't stay in your comfort zone. I mean, you're going to see other people out there doing things and you're going to be thinking, but I can do that. I mean, for instance, you might be there looking at me doing this thing and you're thinking, but I can do this. If Lucy can do it, I can do it. Go for it. Like Patty says, take that one step. Hang in there. There will be down times. That's what success is all about. You will get up and get back onto that horse. So take calculated risks. Learn something new. Listen. Share the experiences that you have, and then celebrate successes along the way. And when I talk about celebrating, I'm talking about you testimonies. Tell people what you went through. Share your stories. Do not be shy. People will always have an opinion. So people may not like your story, but there are those who will like your story. So don't limit yourself. Share your story. I mean, in the beginning, I used to say, who wants to hear me speaking? People are going to say that, oh, she's just talking. But you know what? They are allowed and entitled to their own opinions. There are those who are waiting for this message. And I purpose to be here every Tuesday, God willing, to deliver something that is going to be an inspiration to somebody out there who's waiting to hear this message. So celebrate the successes along the way. I celebrated my successes of hitting 300 likes. It was, I can't remember the month now. And somebody came back to me and said, 300 likes, Lucy, you don't measure your success by likes on social media. You measure your success by your engagement on social. But hey, I was celebrating successes and they were not going to take that away from me. So 300, here we are. I was hoping to close at 500. I am sitting at 450. You could help me. You could go in there and start liking for those of you who haven't liked, and invite people, share so they could like, and I could hit 500 on the 31st of December. But you know what? If I don't hit 500 on the 31st of December, I still have 2021. The fourth and the last takeaway, ladies, as we close the hour, is enjoy the learning experience. Enjoy it. You might be the youngest person in class. You might be the oldest person in class. You might be the fastest. You might be the slowest person. The fact is you're in class. You're learning something new, and talk about it. Share it with people. Yeah. So let's see. Patty, thank you so much. You say I'm a blessing. I thank you so much, Patty. Thank you for interacting with me today. Oh, Jane is here. Great, Jane. Good to see you. And you say, yes, 300 is a great job. 300 likes, right? 300 likes is a good thing. Thank you so much for that motivation, Jane. You should know, I mean, this is your world. Thank you so much. So what an amazing year of downs and ups. Let's go that way. There were downs and there were ups. More downs than there were ups. There was a lot of unlearnings and learnings. We were pitted with our families or work colleagues into rooms, and we learned one another. We unlearned things and learned new things. How beautiful was that? Amazing. You can choose to look at it as a silver lining, or you could choose to actually think, oh, victim, happened to me. I'm choosing solution mode. I'm choosing silver lining. So let us meet next year, ladies, which is already next week, on the 5th, Tuesday Talks at 3. We'll be talking about January fulfillment. We'll be talking to women who are doing what they love and getting paid for it. You don't want to miss this. We'll also be going through our year, our first week of the year on awakening self. January is all about new beginnings and transitions. If you Google January, that's what it's all about. So remember to like our page. Remember to share this page with people. Remember to always check it out for any updates that we have. Let us help build one another. I take this opportunity to wish you a prosperous 2021, filled with love, hope, with peace, with happiness, and you taking many steps, one at a time, towards your personal success and abundance. May you have a prosperous 2021 of abundance mindset. And until we meet next week, be kind to yourself. Bye bye now.